Hey, Jeff Howard here, and I want to talk to you about a really exciting product. Now, this product's been out for a long time, and I was really lucky back in the day when I used to race kite buggies back in the mid-90s. Now I'm dating myself, right? Anyway, this is called Q-Power. Q-Power, if you wonder about how it was made or why it's made, well, I'm going to explain that to you, but this stuff is amazing. It's not made in like huge, massive amounts, and none of the manufacturers want to use it because this is licensed. This is controlled by a guy, Brian Smith, who came up with this back in the 90s when I was racing kite buggies. He wanted to make a kite line that was completely different to anything out on the market. It has come out, at first it was called Q-Power, now it's all Q-Power Pro. He's got it down where it's strength to weight ratio, nothing can compare to it. And I wanted to explain to you why. A lot of people are like, yeah, really? I think you're just blowing smoke. Well, let me show you. So this is how a standard kite line is braid. You see all these individual braids. Now this is a bigger line just to show you in the camera, but this is how all fly lines are made. There's a spool of this. This is how it's made. How many counts of spectra, little tiny hairs. This stuff is unbelievable. There you go. I don't know if you can see it, but there's many, many tiny, tiny fibers that are like a spider web, basically, and they're all put together on a spool, then they're run into a braiding machine, and then they're braided. Now, this is a quick way to make a spectral line. You can make it really fast. Cheaper lines are made faster and faster, bigger rolls of spectra inside of here. So if you get a line that feels rough, that is because it's made a lot faster. If you want to get a tighter braid, a more specific type, a higher quality type line, then you're going to feel that line and it's going to be nice and smooth. This is also a braid. This is a fly line here. But if you push it together, end to end, right in there, and you can see the braid loosen, you can see all of the little braids within here. The smaller the braid, the better. But the longer it takes to manufacture. The higher the quality of line, the more braids that are in here, but that takes a very specific machine to braid those lines. So the higher quality, you're gonna pay more for it. There is a difference in fly line. Now, let's get back to Q-Power. Q-Power was designed completely different than all other lines. Brian Smith wanted to come in here and he came up with putting a spectral line in its best tension, which is straight. It wants to stay straight, and when it does, that's when it takes its higher loading. So what he did is he designed a line, I'm pulling it out, it's hard to see there, that it has an inner core that'll almost take all of the load of the fly line, almost all the way up to its breaking strength, and then tightly weave. This is the key to it, having machines that will tightly weave. No other line is like this. There's other guys out there that have tried making it as good as this, small as this, and strength. It hasn't ever been done. It is really neat to see this. I've been in the industry for, golly, well over 20 plus years. But Q-Power has a straight inner core and a very tight outer braid. And now what I mean by very tight, this is Q-Power. So if I pull my hand up this, it stands up almost like wire. This takes a lot of time, and it takes a specialty design machine to get this tight. You can't even see the braids in here. It is like it's impossible to see. You have to dig down at the very tip just to be able to see that. What that does is that eliminates dirt, grime, sand, salt, whatever it is to penetrate this line at all. It also allows, this is the only line, the only fly line in the industry that if you want to go out and kiteboard, you can put this over, tie a figure 8 knot, and fully load that to strength. You cannot do that with any other fly line out there. It will reduce its strength by almost 50%. So don't do that. I highly do not recommend it unless you've got Q-Power. But it can also be stitched. We design, custom build and design fly line sets for any bar in the industry. This is a stitched line, and usually what you'll do is you'll tie a pigtail. You can put a pigtail down here, but you don't have to. Again, it's the only fly line that you can take this, knot that directly on, and you're ready to go fly. It will not hurt Q-Power. But it is amazing stuff, and we have it in every color you can imagine here. I say almost every color. Every color you can put it all together, custom build them. We'll do it all for you, or you can buy it in bulk. But if you ever want to get the strongest, lightweight line less wind drag, perfectly round line. It's the only round line out there in the industry, and you'll hear that in your old lines. But this stuff is amazing. And once you get a set of this, we have so many customers that they have every one of their bars changed out to this Flyline. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here to give you an explanation of some amazing stuff called Q Power Pro. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.